Order of the day number 3.
Local Government Borrowing Bill, committee stage.
I declare the House in committee for the consideration of the Local Government Borrowing Bill.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Chairman.
Members, the Housing Committee on the Local Government Borrowing Bill. The question is that Part 1 stand part. This is debate on clauses 3 to 16.
Mr. Chairman.
Phil Twyford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think we don't have long for the debate this afternoon, and that's a good thing because there's a lot of consensus about this bill, and there was a good discussion at the Select Committee. One or two minor items were debated, but there was a broad agreement, if I'm not wrong, with the intent and the content of this bill. The purpose is pretty clear, Mr. Chairman. There's the recognition that debt is a necessary tool for local government in this country. A significant amount of ratepayers' funds are used for the cost of borrowing money, particularly for capital items. And this local government funding agency that this bill establishes will save a significant amount for the ratepayer. There's some question, I think, about whether the amount of $25 million will in fact eventuate, given the fall in interest rates over recent times, but I think probably still a significant sum. The Auckland Council alone estimates that this bill will save it around $10 million a year, and perhaps the Minister might like to take a call and let us know what the latest estimates are. The Part 1 of the bill makes a number of legislative adjustments that will give lenders confidence that the local government funding agency is an institution that they can rely on and will in fact reduce compliance costs for the agency. The local government funding agency will be borrowing offshore, and the bill changes the Local Government Act to exempt the local government funding agency from the prohibition on local authorities borrowing in foreign currency. The funding agency will also provide a vehicle that will be able to offer make retail offerings to the so-called mum and dad investors in New Zealand, and that's another really positive benefit of this bill and of this initiative. It will allow, it will add to the efforts to deepen and strengthen New Zealand capital markets by giving mum and dad investors the opportunity to buy bonds and invest in New Zealand's infrastructure. So I congratulate the Minister of Local Government for this bill. We've supported it all the way along and supported the efforts to push it up the order paper and ensure that the bill would be progressed through the stages and passed before the House rises for the general election. I think it's particularly important to note, sir, that the issue of debt raises different responses from parties across the political spectrum. Parties on the right tend to want to rise to the challenge of how do we make the really significant investments that are needed in infrastructure by recourse to privatisation and public-private partnerships. What we like, sir, about this mechanism is that it provides one alternative to those responses. It allows councils and ratepayers around New Zealand more of an opportunity to own their own future and mobilise the savings of New Zealanders to invest in water treatment plants, transport infrastructure, and all the necessary capital items that local governments have to invest in. So I'll leave it there as an opening statement, Mr. Chairman, and I look forward to hearing from the Minister.